everybody, I am here with Amy. Hi! In your 99.
I'm so happy to be with you. I haven't seen you for ages, sorry.
Today, I am going to question Amy about her dating life.
Ooh.
Before coming to Taiwan, what was dating like in the UK?
UK boys are very, very forward. If they like you, they'll just be honest and say, oh, I like you, do you want to go on a date? Kind of like they have an SOP of...
Do you have a best date?
A best...
Pre-Alex.
Pre-Alex.
Because we know that
Alex obviously is the best date, obviously, darling, aren't you? There was this one guy and he was just so romantic. Like he would always just find like the foods that I liked the most and he would just like take me to all these restaurants like by surprise. I find British boys are very spontaneous like that. I guess the Taiwanese boys are more planning ahead, and if you find that too.
Do you have a worst date?
It's the guy that I was dating and he was really into camping, and I made it quite clear from the start I'm not really into camping. So for my birthday he bought me all this camping gear, knowing fully well that I didn't like camping. And then he was like, yeah, we're going for your birthday to my favourite camping spot. I was like, oh, that's great, yeah, it's lovely. And then when we broke up, about 2 weeks later, he was like, can I have all the camping stuff back? And I was like, okay. Yeah, so that was pretty. What was the weirdest date you've ever had?
Yeah, here in Taiwan, somebody set me up with a guy and I didn't know that I was going on this date.
Yeah.
Like I was invited by colleagues to go hiking and I had a wild night the night before. I was like leaving the bar at 6 a.m.
Literally, you just have to go home, put your trainers on,
yes.
And then you're right out the door.
That's
Still
exactly
absolutely,
what I did.
like, yeah.
I turned up in the mountains and he was lovely, insisted on opening the door for me. So it was like I sat there, it was like it was on a child lock. I'm like, I really want to get out the car, but I've got to wait for him to run around the car and open the door
God,
for
I wonder
me.
if he'd like Googled like all the traditional things that maybe our the generation before us like. But I've heard that a lot in Taiwan. A lot of people will set up friends without telling them. I've heard this story a few times. That's awkward. It's just awkward. It's like pushing two things together that is just not natural, I think. You need to save you need a partner. It feels like that. And in the UK, it's kind of like, let's not interfere.
Before Alex, had you ever dated an Asian man?
I had not. I think because where I'm from is, it's not very multicultural. I would never not consider it, but I never thought about it. To be honest, it's funny, I was thinking the other day, Eddie guys are lovely, of course, but I prefer Asian guys now over Western guys.
Over time, you formed a bit of an Asian kink.
Yeah. Asian boys smell lovely. There's no BO or anything like that. Even Alex could be out running for hours or whatever. He never stinks. Asian guys are a little bit shy. And they're not so in your face, like, all right, darling, you're not hot today.
Not so cocky.
You're not so cocky, yeah. And I kind of like that as well. They're kind of reserved and they'll say if you're not comfortable, they won't push you. You don't feel there's so much stress with them as well.
There's not as much pressure.
Exactly, yeah. I'm not saying all guys, there's some lovely British guys, but, on the whole, that's what I see. So what about you?
I think Asian guys are much less pushy in my experience.
Yeah.
And I think when I was younger and I came here, I felt I didn't particularly like it because I had such low self-esteem. I needed that validation, whereas now I really respect a man that has respect.
The British boys in one respect were good that way because, they're very open about compliments.
Taiwanese men would feel like that was a little out of line.
I've never heard a guy at work say that to me or anything like that.
No, they tell me when I look tired.
Yeah, right? They do. Yeah, they tell you the negative stuff.
What did dates look like for you, or what do they look like for you now?
So back then, because he came to London, and we did date for like a year before we got engaged. So we would often mostly we would go to Chinese restaurants, and he was really sweet. He was just so romantic. He'd just turn up at my workplace sometimes with flowers, and it was just so sweet. And then we'd just go mostly our dates were in Chinatown. One, because it was cheap, and two, because he missed home. So we'd have to go for a date, or we could eat buffet in Chinatown. It was just so nice. And that time it was really spontaneous. We both lived in London. I was new to London, he'd moved to London. So we'd have loads of dates, like going around London on cheap days out and stuff. And it was so much fun. And I think even now, I think what makes us happy still is that we make the effort to do that. I mean, there's been times in the previous few years where we've just got lazy and we don't see each other so much, and we get busy at work, and our days off we'd go separate and do things, and we realised that wasn't good. We still have to date. It's really important. You've got to keep the fire fire going, isn't it? It's really important. So now we make an effort every week. We'll do something different. We'll go hiking together, or we'll make sure we have a meal together, just the two of us, and we have that time to talk. Maybe it's not as spontaneous and exciting as it always was, but it's just lovely. It's just lovely. So we do date. We still date a lot, and it's been 14 years, and we still date, and we're still happy. So, what about you?
What do you think is different about a dating activity in the UK versus Taiwan?
In the UK, there's always drink involved. Normally, even the chat-up line is, do you want to go for a drink? That means you want to go on a date with me, really, that's it. Normally, I'd say most of my dates involved going to a pub or going for a meal and ordering a bottle of wine. There was always alcohol involved.
Like, I like you, I don't know how much you like me, so I'm going to ply you with alcohol and hope that you'll sleep with me at the end of the night.
That's exactly what I wanted to say. And in Taiwan, it feels like there's no pressure like that. I don't know, in Taiwan it seems more innocent and cute. Like, let's go to the night market.
Activities in Taiwan tend to revolve around food.
Oh yes!
Dating in the UK could be just a walk along the seafront, go and play crazy golf, or do some fun activities. For me, romance is a lot about feeling like you're the only two people in the world. For me, that's not being in a busy night market or a brightly lit restaurant.
Sitting on the sofa, a lovely day for me.
Netflix and chill.
So in the UK, there's a saying that we'd always say Netflix and chill, which means literally we'll just go watch a Netflix movie and we'll chill on the sofa together. I had so many dates like that as well. It was literally they cook a meal or I cook a meal and then we just watch a movie on the sofa.
Maybe Taiwanese people consider their safety more than we do.
Maybe. When we first came to Taiwan, we were already married, but it seemed most of our days out were with his friends. There'd be groups of loads of couples, and we do that in England too. Couples would double date and things, but it seemed to be all the time. We'll go with them and we've got a day out. And at that time I was still getting to know my husband, so I was like, can we just have a few days together, just us two? I want still getting to know you, and I want, we want that.
Maybe Alex would be like, oh, there's this really romantic viewpoint. And we'd get up there and there was 1,000 other couples that were looking at the same viewpoint. I need somebody to edit all the other people out of my scene. Your ideal date?
Spontaneous and fun and easygoing. And my ideal date would probably be
with Alex.
Obviously with Alex, yeah. Or board game and a glass of wine. Oh, amazing, right? And a cheese board. Fine.
Either of us are going to get that.
No, so let us know.
What was your first date with Alex?
There was one date that for me was it sticks out so well. It was a Valentine's Day. He turned up to my work with a bunch of flowers, and he'd made this diary from the first day he'd been in England to that date, which was probably about 2 months. He'd written in it every single day of what we'd done together that day, and he'd secretly taken photos. He's like, oh, today you took me to Notting Hill, or today you cooked for me for the first time, and he'd written it down. Obviously he was still practicing English as well. It literally was every day, and it was just the sweetest gift I ever had. I was sat on the tube in London just crying my eyes out, this is so cute. It's still at my mum's house, and I can still look back and think this is our first 3 months yet. And then we went to Chinatown, had some dinner, and then we bought a lottery ticket because we knew that at that time maybe we couldn't be together because it was quite expensive for him to stay there, and we were kind of hoping that we could win the lottery and then spend our life together. That's what our little plan was. Yeah, so it was so cute. We went home and watched Titanic, and it was just so lovely. And I always remember that date. Oh, 15 years ago. Oh, you cried. I don't know how he did it. He's so adorable. Then I knew, I was like, this guy, I can't let him go. He's amazing.
I need to win the lottery.
Yeah, he's so sweet. We got a ticket and we're going to win. We could be together forever because we can afford to be together. You know what it's like. It's expensive as a foreign couple. You didn't know what was going to happen then. So, can you share with me your date?
I showed him around Zhongli. And he showed up to this date with a little gift that he had got on his travels. And I was like, I couldn't imagine an English guy turning up to a first date with a gift.
Not really. Some would have flowers, but not always. When you first saw him, was it love at first sight?
Yeah, I liked him straight away. There was just something about that smile.
It's pulled you in.
Who doesn't want to smile in life?
Exactly.
Right? And then he married me and he never smiled again.
Is there anything about your husband that you're kind of thinking, yeah, he's changed a lot?
We got married so quickly that I was still learning who he was.
Right,
but I was enjoying all the things that I was learning, so thank goodness, right? Yeah. Those first few years after marriage, we were just working and saving and traveling. So no, he didn't change then. from having a family, he's changed a lot. I think the pressure of raising a family in Taiwan to be financially secure, the children's education and other people's opinion, and also because of the language barrier, he takes on more responsibilities like communication with the teachers or taking them to clubs and stuff because he can converse with the other parents. Like before, when I met him, he had so many hobbies. Like he loved music and he loved the outdoors and he loved socializing. And now with work and a family, he doesn't make time.
Life has kind of got more serious, right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I miss that carefree side of him. What about you? Do you think Alex has changed since before marriage and after?
I think just because we opened the business as well, because there was a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Like same with your Alex as well. He's very carefree, traveling, wanted to see the world, and just carefree. And I've noticed that kind of get drained from him over the years. You know, he's more kind of like, well, I'm happy to settle down now, that kind of feeling. So, but I think it's just because he knows he's got so much responsibility as well. You know, and he's kind of thinking, that'd be reckless. He's more practical thinking now than he used to be. And I still haven't quite got there yet.
Okay, so now we know what you are looking for. Alex can take some notes, get jotting them down. And thank you guys for watching. If you have any advice as to good dates that we can go on in Taiwan,
with our husbands, obviously,
that have a little bit of spice to them, a little bit of fun,
then please share below because it'd be nice, especially when we've been married a while.
I should arrange your guys' date and you should arrange my date.
Can you imagine how that'd be amazing? Ideas. You guys can give us some ideas as well. Where can we go in Taiwan? Or where was your first date with your other half? Was it, you know, where did you go? Did you go to the night market or did you go somewhere totally different? And would you cook for your other half as well? Is that the thing in Taiwan?
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, please check if you are subscribed or not. And if you're not,
do it now. What are you waiting for?
Go over to Amy's restaurants. Oh my goodness, you've got a lot going on at the moment.
So we've got a restaurant in Danshui, and we've got one in Xinyi, and we're also in department stores. We're in Gaodao and also in Taipei Main Station. So you can come and check out British food if you haven't tried it already. I'm also online, www.britishit.com. But I want you to check out Lucy's channel, and also Lucy is an amazing English teacher. So if you're looking for an amazing English teacher, look no further. Here she is.
And I actually have new courses opening.
Fantastic! Fantastic. So guys, you can click the links below.
Look at us entrepreneurs. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.